very nice post. From there we went and we stayed at Shamva Mine. Shamva Mine again is in Mashonaland Central, and my dad at this time was now a senior mine captain, and we stayed there for about 4 years, and then we moved to Beatrice and another mine called Joyce Mine. So I'm a small mine boy, and don't be fooled by the English. I am really just a small mine boy. But you see, I'm going to share a story that is going to touch my heart because it's very dear to me. But I'm hoping somebody in here will understand the gravity of what I want to share with you, because you guys are amazing. Just say, I'm amazing.
I'm amazing.
If you don't tell yourself that you're awesome, say, I'm awesome.
I'm awesome.
If you don't tell yourself that you're awesome, that you're amazing, nobody else is going to tell you. I have a lot of international friends, and a Nigerian friend of mine said to me, Taf, if you allow people to define you, they'll always define you too small. Say, I'm not small.
I'm not small.
Guys, I hope that throughout this conversation with you, you will respond to me. But I want to tell you something. I've come today for just one person, and that person may just not be you. So just look at the person to your left and say, is it you? Look the person to your right and say, is it you? And now biggest, say to me, it is me.
It's me.
Now let me tell you something. The person to your left, the person to your right, just tell them, give me chance. If you don't get your chance, it's your fault. If you don't get your chance, I'll repeat that again, it is your fault. And I'm here to tell you that on the 25th of February 1990, I was about your guys' age group. And just a few days ago, I turned 39. I was 12 years old. On that day, my dad came. By the time we got to Joyce Mine, he became an underground manager, which means he was making a lot of money. You understand? And our life had changed because suddenly my father was now an underground manager, the second in charge. And on the 25th of February 1990, it was a Saturday, my father says to me, son, I'm the only boy in a family of 3. I got 2 younger sisters. I'm the firstborn, which means I'm the most handsome in the family, naturally. And so my dad says, son, let's go. And Dad, where are we going? But you know, I used to love to spend time with my dad, and I'll explain why I'm using the past tense. Is that we went into Beatrice. It was about 14 kilometers away from Joyce Mine. And that day was a day I'll never forget. I spent the most amazing day with my father. His name was Edmore. We used to call him E.T. My dad was amazing. That day, we spent the whole day playing slug, playing flipper. Some of you don't know what flipper is. But this is the things that we did with him. We hung around and we went and we visited his friends. It was time for fellowship. Around 4 o'clock in the evening, my father says, son, we're going back. And we drove back 14 kilometers back home, and we sat and we watched television. I'm telling you this story because you're looking at a man who is doing things against all odds. Once again, I'm about to tell you why I believe Rimano Mkombon. I'm a compound boy who's making it big, because I made that choice. And so my dad comes and we sit down and we watch television together. We're watching wrestling. And as we're watching, I can never forget my anger when my father drove out, because I spent the day with him. Where was he going without me? And my dad left. And that was the last time I saw my father. It was involved in a horrific car accident. He died on the spot. When we were going for the body viewing, we were not allowed to see because of the injuries he had. But all because I was the firstborn son, they said this boy needs to see his father. But I couldn't see my dad because, again, the injuries were bad. The only thing I remember seeing my father in his coffin was just his nose and his mouth. In my mind, I said, why? I was young and I said, why did they close my father's mouth? That's the memory I have of him. And my life changed from that day forward. Because we're staying in the suburbs and suddenly I became a compound boy. The guys that I would admire me suddenly could not accept me because I'm not a compound boy. The guys who I used to play with could no longer play with me because now I'm a compound boy. My mom was widowed, she was only 35 years old. My youngest sister was only 11 months old. Guys, I want you to understand, what you guys are going through is not peculiar to you. And some of you need to hear this message because you too may find yourself orphaning somebody else. And so the story continues, is that my uncles then said, no, we will do nothing with this family. My surname is Mukoi. I've been to my father's homestead, Kumusha, only 3 times. Guys, I'm 39 years old. Because they don't accept me. There's somebody in here who feels that they are not accepted. But look at me, look at the small mind boy talking to these brilliant, amazing people. I mean, give me a big round of applause. Beginning of the year, the AFCON. Do you know who went with the AFCON to talk to the Warriors? I did. I was standing in the in the Sheraton. I can't forget standing there talking to Kama Billiard, Onismo Mbasera, Tendai Ndoro, all these amazing athletes. And for a moment, I wished my father could walk in and say, son, I'm proud of you. I understand some of the pain you guys are going through. But you've got a choice today to change your life. Because nothing is going to be given to you on a silver platter. I've said it before, if you allow people to define you, they'll always define you too small. When I traveled to Gabon, I went to Gabon. They paid for me, a small mind boy. They flew me to Gabon, Libreville. When I got there, the news was saying, who's that guy? Who's that guy who's gone to Libreville? And Zifo says, we don't know who he is. He's on private business. I'm on private business when I'm going to talk to our nation's finest. What do you mean I'm on private business? And by the way, I had a letter from Zifa. And I got in and I spoke to these guys and they were pumped up. And so I want you to look at me and understand that you too can be this young man. Whatever your circumstances, and you can make it big. So my story, let me finish on the 25th of February. It's to say my dad was drunk. And he went and he rammed into a lorry and he died. Going to Masvingo or going past that bridge. Because it reminds me of how my life changed. It's painful. Alcohol can kill dreams. It's a choice you've got to make. My dad was exactly how old I am today. And guys, I feel like I'm young. I feel like I can take over. Love him. And because of that alcohol, to this day, my uncles don't want to do anything with me because they didn't leave a will. And so our house in Harare, they said, no, this is our brother's house. We want that house. These guys must come and stay in Kayakumusha. How could a small boy go do that? Seriously. And so our fight began there with my uncles. But remember, I was only 12 years old. There are people who are fighting you right now. Let me tell you something. They're just setting you up for success. And you've got to believe it. There's certain things that happen in your life because if you don't go through those things, you won't be able to become what you're supposed to be. An old girl, she too began to drink. Praise the Lord. She's given her life to Christ. She's still with us. But she got to a place where depression made her pursue the brown bottle. In actual fact, she did both. She also did the green bottle. You guys probably don't know about this one. It's called Borinjas. Eish. You think it's no further Borinjas? Depression, peer pressure, friends, The movies that you watch, guys, let me tell you something. There's nothing cool about drinking alcohol. You are the one who is cool, not the alcohol. You make the alcohol cool, which means the alcohol doesn't need you. Neither do you need the alcohol to be cool. Why are you pursuing being cool by grabbing a bottle, drinking, and smoking? Oh, for the boys around here, I then went to a mission school. I went to St. Faith's Madetere, Fisco, that's what they call it in Rusape. And by the time I went there, in 1991, we got there when I think some of the guys I went to school were still war vets, because those guys were big. Those guys were shaving before I even knew how to grow any beard. And these guys were macho. I want to tell you guys, I lost a brother. My brother was amazing. He was a year older than me. His death was just a few days ago, a couple of years ago. My brother was amazing. 1993, I can never forget. There I was, this young man. By this time, I overcome all the bullying. I was growing a little bit bigger. I was a loud man, so guys loved me. And then I heard my brother has been expelled. I said, why? What's going on, Fari? And he came to my room and I was afraid. Do I keep him in my room or do I tell him, I can't have you? But he's my brother. And Fari was expelled because he was found drinking. My hero. He was an amazing athlete. He was great in school. He was my brother and he was being expelled from school because of drinking alcohol. Okay, before I finish the story, let me just tell you something. Tororino Naka. I want to tell you the truth, guys. Don't be fooled. Those who didn't hear what I said alcohol is delicious. And that's why it will kill you. It's not everything that glitters is gold. It's not everything that looks good that is good for you. And so my brother, I then discovered that it wasn't just alcohol he was drinking. He was smoking Mbanje. Fari, you led me to Christ. What are you doing with Mbanje? And that's how my brother's life just went down. From that day forward, I can always remember how I wished my brother was there. He was only writing school. I don't know where he was staying. He would come and write his exams, his O-levels. He didn't do very well. He came to Harare. He grew up in Heathcliff. And a couple of years later, he started working, never had a real qualification. He loved music and dance. If we actually used to call him Fresh, Fatso Fresh. Those are the guys who started off with the urban groove movement. A couple of years later, to my horror, I was cold, tough. Where? Fari's not feeling well. I walked over and I remember walking into his bedroom, and I looked down and he smiled at me. And I saw a man who looked grey. I couldn't believe it. I literally just said, hi Fari. I walked out, my heart sank. I was losing my brother. He was now HIV positive. Because with the alcohol, with the drugs, his judgment was impaired. When you consume this stuff, guys, your judgment becomes impaired. You don't know what is right and what is wrong. Because it is pleasurable. Every pleasure that comes, you will take. And not every pleasure that comes is good for you. Man, if Fari was here, guys, I'll be doing cartwheels because I knew my big brother would be here. He protected me. At a time when I was feeling low, when my self-esteem was low, I had a big brother in Fari. And I watched him. And I went back and I sat by his side. And I looked at him and I said, Fari, what's going on? He says, I'm not well, my brother. It was painful. I'm not here to tell you about the horror stories. I'm telling you about life. I traveled to South Africa Then I got a phone call on my way back and I was told Farai was gone. And we buried my hero, we buried my protector, we buried my Monya. He was gone. And I have two people now that I can tell you who are very dear to me, who are 6 feet under because of alcohol and drugs. But I can tell you stories. I went to the University of Zimbabwe. I studied psychology. I can tell you of guys who we looked at and we knew without a doubt that these guys will probably be the next ministers, the next Reserve Bank governors, because these guys were amazing. But today, where are they? They're nowhere. Your time will come, guys. Your time will come to consume whatever you want in the right dosages. Your time will come. Hang in there. There are dreams that I seated here. Amazing people seated here. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. I was told that we'll see you dead soon. Look at me. Air in my lungs. My heart is pumping. I'm fit like a fiddle. And handsome. Thank you, little cells. So what are you waiting? Why? Tell me why. Tell me why it's so important for you guys at your age to waste your life so that your sons, your future can now cry and lament of the hardships that my sister to this day does not recognize what my father is. When we bring out pictures, you can see her withdrawing a little bit. She's trying to connect with her father she never knew. You guys have a chance. You have hope. You have a future. And it's up to you. No one is going to stop you from drinking. It's your mouth. It's your stomach. It's your throat. Waste it if you want. Waste it. We'll bury you. We'll talk about your potential. We'll say shame. And after that, we'll go and eat chicken and chips. So you have a choice, guys. I have friends, I'll tell you. I saw this guy a few days ago. I was driving down and I passed him. And I realized, I think I know this guy. And I reversed. And before he approached me, I stopped the car. I got out and I walked to him. I said, Mkoma, how are you? And he looked at me. He couldn't recognize me. I couldn't recognize him. This guy is at least 3 years older than me. But he looked like my uncle. Because of alcohol, his teeth are gone. His breath is stinking. He doesn't even know how to dress up. Guys, you know what alcohol does? It makes you a social misfit. Nobody wants to hang out with you. Why would we like to hang out with somebody who stinks? Whose dress code is bad? Why? You know, there's nothing amazing when I walk in to areas and people just greet me simply because of the way I'm dressed. Because I know that I'm a brand. I know who I am. If you don't know who you are, any wind of doctrine is going to come and take you. And so I sat there and I looked at him. And I said, do you remember me, Mkoma? And he says, no, I don't. I said, but we used to play plastic ball, chikweshe kushamva. Dinostafanzwa. And he looked at me and said, oh, Muningina. And just that, Muningina, almost made me faint because of his breath. Let's give a big round of applause to Maimba. I wanted to give you that alcohol. It's because they know very well. I've got friends, one more story. I've got friends who used to share alcohol and they never drank. One of my friends, I won't say his name because I'm being recorded. He's staying in America. He's just finished building his double-story house in Rua. This guy, when people were going to drink when we were younger, you would pitch up as if he was drinking with everybody else. And you'd pretend and you'd say, guys, I'm going to the bathroom. No, he wasn't going to the bathroom. He was going to study. And you'd leave our boys in there. And some of those boys to this day, they have nothing to show for the life that they had. They lost their opportunity. Guys, you have an opportunity. I don't want to lie to you. Opportunities are pursuing you day in, day out. And the first thing I want you to understand is that people will pull you down because they are afraid of the success that you're going to be. Because guys, let me tell you, there's a season in my life I'll talk about this about the combi, this about this, and some of my friends are still talking about that story. But my story has changed. I'm talking about delayed flights, about connecting flights, about hotel rooms. But they can't talk about that because now our lives are not the same. The person next to you, look at them again. Look at the person next to you. You have a choice, guys, to drink your life away or to pick up that person in your nice Mercedes because they are drunk. The choice is, are you the one being picked up or the one who's driving? Choose. Choose. It's your choice. We're not here to force you to do anything. You can be whoever you want. But people are afraid of the success that you're going to become. Say, I'm successful.
I'm successful.
Say, I'm amazing.
I'm amazing.
Say, I'm brilliant.
I'm brilliant.
I'm going to do something. I'm going to count 1, 2, 3. I'm going to say yes. You're going to say it like you believe it. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. And then you say yes. Are you okay? All right. 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Guys, you're going to believe that you're amazing. When I wake up in the morning, I tell that the devil is in trouble. Because I know I'm going to meet amazing people. The other reason that people are going to give you drugs and alcohol is because when you become a failure, they'll say, look at that idiot. Amen. Guys, people like to stand on top of people. They want to be bigger and greater than people. That's why there's no other witchcraft than to say, I am better than them. They'll give you drugs, they'll give you mbanje, they'll give you all those drinks because they want to be better than you. You've got to be smart. But the other thing is, the reason why they're going to give you drugs and alcohol is because they don't want to contribute to your solutions of life. You know, I get into places where people ask me, so Coach Tav, what should we do? And I tell them, and they come back and they're excited because their lives will never be the same. But because some people don't have solutions, when they ask you, what shall I do? They'll say, no, hold on, take a drink first. They have no solutions for you. It's your choice, guys. Once again, look at the person next to you. You need to remember that face. Because that face is either going to give you $1 for a packet of cigarettes because you can't afford, or you are the one who is going to be receiving $1 for a packet of cigarettes. Guys, when I go back to Shamva Mine, Joyce Mine, and Mazoe Mine, the mines that I grew up, guys will come up to me and the conversation is always the same. Titekiroka one. The question is, which one are you? The one asking or the one being asked? Stop wasting your lives, guys. You've got an opportunity, you've got a future. There's a future that is waiting for you. It's got your name on it. Say, it's got my name on it.
It's got my name on it.
Come on, say it like you believe it. It's got my name on it.
It's got my name on it.
So make a choice, guys. Once again, I'm a small mind boy. And here I am. I make my invoices using my voice because I'm amazing. I know it. I believe it. When I stand up, people listen to me. You guys have been listening to me. I talk to places. I mean, he was saying to me today, Coach Tav, finally, I get to meet you. This guy right here. He says, because I've heard you on radio. And I'm touching people's lives. You're created for 2 reasons, guys. Number 1, to glorify God. You got to glorify God in everything you do. edify others, not to destroy, but to edify them so that you can become their testimony. And so, once again, guys, I want you to make a choice. I can't wait to meet one of you at Heathrow Airport, at OR Tambo Airport, and you stop and say, excuse me, I think I know you. And I'm going to hesitate a moment. And I'm going to say, really? And you're going to say, aren't you Coach Taff? And I'm going to say, maybe. And you're going to say, I'm sure you're Coach Taff. And I'm going to look at you in your eyes. And I'm going to say, so tell me, who are you? And you're going to remind me of this day. You're going to remind me of this day. And you're going to say, Coach Taff, you spoke so passionately about your dad, about your brother, Fadi. And I made a choice. I made a choice to become something that I never thought about. I made a choice to become amazing. I made a choice to become the best athlete, to become the best academic. And right now, I'm on transit, but I've got 1 hour, Coach Taff. 1 hour. Can I buy you a cup of coffee? That's my dream. But somebody in here who is listening to this guy and is saying, "Hi, wow, you're that person I'm going to find in Highfields. You're going to walk up to me and you're going to ask the same question. Aren't you Coach Taff?" I'm going to say, yes, I am. You're going to say, "Tengero one." I won't buy. I'm not going to buy because you guys have a future. You guys are better than me. When I was growing up, I had nobody to listen to. I had nobody to share their life stories with me. I didn't get this opportunity like you guys have got. Some of you are looking down upon yourselves now. Why? Why would you look down upon yourself? Guys, it's as easy as saying, I am amazing. And my body is a temple. I will not make it dirty. Why would you want to do that to yourselves? And so choose. From this moment, once again, if anything, today's conversation was about choice. I've said it and I'll say it again. Alcohol is beautiful. Banje will make you high. You feel like you're on top of the world. Sometimes it makes you feel like you can do anything. And sometimes anything is robbing people. It's raping people. It's beating up people because you think you can do anything. But I've got stories for you guys. Tonight, when I sleep, I'm going to carry all these beautiful eyes looking at me in amazement. But you see, when you're on the other side, when you go to sleep, you wake up, you're still the same old failure. I'm richer today. I'm richer because of you. I'm richer because somebody at the back said, amen, I glorified God. I'm richer today because somebody here has been edified. You have a gift. I'll end my story, my conversation with one last story about my son. With a question. Guys, I've had painful stories. The question was born, and in 110 days he was gone. We only had him for 110 days. He's buried at Greendale Cemetery. I was upset with God, guys. I gave God the silent treatment because I thought he deserved it. I give speeches for a living. But the hardest speech was when I had to kneel and look at my daughter and say, Chichi, Kuda is coming one more time. And it's going to be a small little box. Mom and Daddy will be crying. And if you need to cry, it's okay, baby. But Kuda is gone. But I got a good story out of that. It's Jeremiah 1:5. It says, of me and of Kuda Kwashe, that before I formed you in your mother's womb, I knew you. And I consecrated you and appointed you to be a prophet unto the nations. And it is the same story about you, that the Lord knew you and He gave you gifts, but you don't have time. Maybe this for somebody. Tomorrow, I'm going to bury a grade 2. A grade 2 child. I'm the vice chairman for convent. And so for the Parents Association, a grade 2 child, we're burying her tomorrow. You have no time, so don't waste it on drugs and alcohol. You have no time because you've got gifts. What are you going to do with your 110 days? Tomorrow is not guaranteed, my friends. Tomorrow is a blessing. Today and now counts. You've got to make it count. And if you don't make it count, when some of us are in heaven and getting those crowns, you only wish. Some of you seated in here don't have fathers and mothers. Some of you seated in here don't have brothers and sisters. They've gone, just like me. But I've got a story for you. When we get to heaven, they'll be waiting to hear our stories of how we succeeded. Because there's no time to talk about bond notes and potholes in heaven. It's about talking about how I talked to these amazing kids who became amazing people. That's my story. What is your story? Make a choice, guys. You know what? I don't know what else to say.